Now, essentially why we're here today is to ask the question, why do we think international students are important to the United Kingdom? I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail. In this room, we have students from 15 different countries. In my university, we have students from over 110 and rising. But why does that matter? Why is it important that those students come here? On a purely economic level, the numbers are absolutely staggering. I don't like talking about the numbers because I think it detracts from the real issues that we want to talk about. But as a ballpark figure, Universities UK say it brings in £8 billion a year in international students to the net economy. Business Innovation and Skills put the overall contribution to the education sector for international students at 14 billion. And to put those two numbers in perspective, all the UK music festivals in this country over the course of a year bring in 2.4. So it's 6 times the amount of Glastonbury's and Reading and Leeds. It's a tough time at the moment in the UK, and this money does make a difference. It is not an insignificant contribution, and we need to look at why those students are coming and how we make them feel welcome. International students contribute more than money. We bring skills. A lot is spoken about international students in science, technology, engineering and medicine, STEM subjects, which is excellent. You will be treated by doctors who are medical students. They don't just sit in the classroom and learn and go home. They practice in your A&E departments. There is a member of staff here today whose child was taken ill 2 weeks ago and was treated by a wonderful Dutch doctor from where I've lived. And I think that's something that we can all be happy about. Our international students create innovation and excellence in research. They are the gears that keep this university running in Sheffield and all over the country. A lot of them are postgraduate researchers and postgraduate students who do the nuts and bolts like marking undergraduate work. Without them, simply the university wouldn't function. Our Advanced Manufacturing Research Centre, which is an excellent example of how we cooperate with business, came about because a Chinese PhD student took their own initiative and went on a work placement. And from that, we now have a multi-million-pound world-class facility. And something that's very important to me is that we don't forget our exceptionally talented arts and humanities students. I've already spoken about STEM, and I have to be honest, I think I reflect the view of a lot of students in that we're very worried about a lot of the messages that are coming out now around STEM. STEM students are great, but before planes made the world a smaller place and stock markets and computers ruled the economy, it was poets and philosophers who dictated how the world works. And I think it's excellent that we bring those students here and give them opportunity to flourish and thrive. In a post-study work environment, that's a good one there, it's imperative that we look for new and improved ways to make sure that these fine international graduates can stay on and seek employment here. I think it's fair to say that the UK is losing an awful lot of talent in graduates who have no route anymore after post-study work. There are tier 2 visas, there are entrepreneur visas, but frankly the thresholds are too high and there is no information available to employers to make them useful. So students bring different perspectives, styles of learning, stories, culture, music, food. We are the colours and spice that add to the recipe that make a modern university, and we need to keep coming. And beyond that, I've talked about money, I've talked about skills and education, which, to be honest, the 3 things I'm going to talk to you about today, I think, are the 2 least important. We live in a time where people are frightened of the word immigration and are worried by stereotypes of foreigners and migrants and scroungers. It was very great that we've been joined by the Minister for Immigration, and I welcome some of his sentiments. But if I am honest to myself as a student representative, I struggle to see how we can claim to be a welcoming country for international students when they are still in the net migration figures. It does not make sense. That is not why students are coming here. They are coming here to study, and by classing them as migrants, you are fundamentally telling them that they are not welcome. I've lost my train of thought. It's something I feel a little bit passionate about. You may have got this. There's currently a bill going through this very House, in fact, that seeks to make migrants unwelcome. It says it in the first paragraph. Is this really the message that we want to send out to students? When they are in net migration, they are migrants, and we wish for them to be unwelcome. The bill claims to deal with illegal migration, but I think we all know here, charging for the NHS and acting for landlords to be border agents is not going to help with illegal migration. The university builds relationships, and in the university you build relationships with your students, with your colleagues, and that is the most important thing about people coming here. I have friends from all over the world, people within this room have friends from all over the world, that wouldn't have been possible unless they'd come to this great country to study. In fact, I know of one person that we have in this room who will be mortified when I tell this story, but they travelled abroad to China several years ago, full of dreams, hopes and expectations for the course that they wished to do. And they came back with a fiancé. We are literally changing lives. When you bring students to new places to learn, to study, to grow as people, you change the direction of their future. And when they go back to your country, you change the direction of countries. The transformational power of education is without parallel in the world, apart from potentially love. And I can't believe that I've just said that. And these things around friendship and things don't just matter to our international students. They matter to students from the UK too. No one person or country in this modern world can afford to be an island. We are one community, and when you look at it, we are all international students in some way or another. Which is why we wanted to do something meaningful but fun. To say that students are more than statistics. They're not just a number on a chart. They are friends and colleagues, and sometimes husbands. Sorry, Kelly. We have turned selfies, self-shot pictures, which are usually very narcissistic, self-absorbed pictures, into something about more than just looking pretty. We've made it into what we think is a great social message around students, around solidarity. What we are doing is showing that despite an increasingly dangerous and worrying social and policy world in the United Kingdom when it comes to migration and when it comes to students, that we are standing by our international student friends and we are willing to fight for them when they are challenged. This final short film explains in a much more eloquent way than I can manage with just words, and I hope that every one of you in this room will show your own support for our wonderful university event by taking selfies yourself.
Yay.
We must show that talented young people from every country in the world, regardless of their economic output or whether they are high risk or not, are welcome in Britain to come and learn at its universities. Which is why I was glad that I was able to deliver some of my more serious messages today and was able to deviate away from my speech. Because we are delivering this message loud and clear from Sheffield. Students' unions up and down the country, vice-chancellors up and down the country, but it's you people in this room, the lawmakers, the policy makers, the people in the sector who are going to decide what happens over the next 5, 10, 50 years when it comes to students and migration. So please, bear that in mind and make wise choices over the next few years.